14 of the National Football League. And we'll see the Buccaneers, rookie linebacker. He's been one of the best blitzers in the NFL this season and is among the league leader in sacks. It's the Buccaneers and the Falcons, and it's coming right up on EA Sports.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home. And
the Bucs defense ready to go and in good form, coming off the shutout a week ago. And the one we'll be watching is this man, head linebacker.
he was at it again last week, adding to his season sack total. He's the NFL leader in that category, and he's just become almost impossible to block on a regular basis.
Here we go. Yellow, line, set, go.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's second down. You look at this defense for Tampa Bay. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
Yeah, they pitched a shutout in that game, didn't they? And those don't come around all that often in the NFL. The ability to keep someone out of the end zone and also from kicking one through the post. Well done.
They'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28. Well, this defense for the Bucs, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And with the playoffs ahead, this is how you build momentum, because they pitched a shutout last week, and I don't care who you're playing. That's not easy.
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. The Bucs defense getting ready for this next possession. Nothing on the scoreboard for either side here. 0-0 in the opening quarter as this next drive gets underway.
On the ready. Ready.
They start on the ground with Robinson here. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here we go.
Second and 9.
Ready.
Back to throw, Ritter. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Ritter now. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Here's Ritter. And complete to Drake London. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. But the numbers for London last week, 5 catches, 72 yards.
And he was able to haul that pass in there, but he knows he's got a tough task ahead of him. This unit in the top 5 in the NFL against the pass. He's going to have to really work hard to get open.
Looking to throw once more. Here's Ritter. It's caught. Smith. So no gain on the play. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. You look at this defense for Tampa Bay. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
When I look back at the stats from last week's game, I thought it was a typo. I thought it was a misprint. It's one thing to hold someone under 100 yards in a game. That's phenomenal. Under 50? Absolutely exceptional.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. The injury on the play, and that's the last player you want to see hurting. The quarterback, Desmond Ridder. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Robinson up the middle. And he's able to get across midfield and down to the Buccaneer territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now Heineke. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 36.
That's another Falcons. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Heineke to throw it. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
How to approach this. 3rd down and 16 yards to go. Looking to throw. Heineke. And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. The Tampa Bay defense back onto the field. They'll have to defend the short field here as this drive begins with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Tackle made by Deidre Sinnott.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
To throw is Heineke. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And the Bucs defense getting ready for this next possession. They've got the 3-0 advantage here as this next drive starts. 1st and 10.
Let's go.
On play action. Heineke can't get away, and he's taken down. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Here's Heineke. Under pressure, they got him again. Devin White in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Now third down and very long.
Cowboy 80. Rocco switch. Rocco switch.
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. The Tampa Bay defense back onto the field. Their guys have the lead here in this first half. They'll try to further the cause on their end as this drive begins 1st and 10. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get started over at the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. And it's the Saints who are out in front. Traquan Smith, a touchdown reception. From there, let's head up to Cincinnati, Ohio to check in on the Bengals at home at Paycor Stadium. And you can see there it's the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. Anthony Richardson has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City, see what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. The Bears trying to hold on and claim victory. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
The Bucs defense getting ready for this next possession. They hold the lead here in this third quarter, but every drive important in a one-score game as this one begins 1st and 10 here. They begin the drive with Robinson. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. 2nd down, Heineke. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Heineke. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. So, Charles, I mean, this is just becoming an exhibition now on how to rush the passer.
Yeah, and I can't help but laugh a little bit because I'm enjoying what we're watching. This is coming from a guy who was in college just a year ago, and we keep harping on their evaluation. They saw not just a guy who could rush the passer, but could rush the passer well, and that's why they took him as high as they did.
The Tampa Bay defense back onto the field. They're going to need to bear down a bit with this drive beginning all the way out past the 40-yard line. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
Now that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block, but the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes, so when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line, the pressure gets there on Heineke, and down he goes. Devin White, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the 4th. 2nd down and a run by Robinson. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Heineke now. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. And the Bucs defense getting ready for this next possession. They've pitched the shutout here into the 4th quarter. Been sensational. The question, can they finish it off? They'll need to come up with another stop here. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
On 2nd down, here's Heineke again. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he returns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
The Tampa Bay defense back onto the field. They had that strip a moment ago that led to the return for a score, so they're playing free and easy now as they try to shut down this offense again. On 1st and 10, Heineke. He's got his man, London, right side. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throws right back to London, complete again. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. And that one on the rookie, Charles. Maybe a little too overeager.
You know how many times about the quarterback having to have a clock in his head and make sure the ball gets away before the rush gets there? When you're a pass rusher, you have to know when the ball is gone and make sure you don't hit the quarterback.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
And the Bucs defense getting ready for this next possession. They've put in a very good shift so far, and this one pretty well in hand. Just looking to finish strong here in the 4th as this next drive starts 1st and 10. First down, Heineke. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Throwing on 2nd and long, Heineke. And the pressure gets to him again. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And oh, he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
So they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game ball.